गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः. So we are in Jnaneshwari Bhavartha Deepika, chapter 18, verse number 20, OV number 529. Correct? 529. And now Bhagwan is going to begin, having given the overview that what is knowledge. Knowledge is sattvic, rajasic, tamasic. That was the general. Karta is also sattvic, rajasic, tamasic. Everything is pervaded by these three modes. And now he is going to, in the 20th verse, he is going to give us the details of the sattva with reference to, and that is how it is going to go on now for some verses. And here he says in the 20th verse, सर्वभूतेषु येनैकं सर्वभूतेषु येनैकं भावमव्ययमीक्षते भावमव्ययमीक्षते अविभक्तं विभक्तेषु अविभक्तं विभक्तेषु तज्ज्ञानं विद्धि सात्विकं तज्ज्ञानं विद्धि सात्विकं. टुगेदर सर्वभूतेषु येनैकं भावमव्ययमीक्षते अविभक्तं विभक्तेषु तज्ज्ञानं विद्धि सात्विकम्. And he says here that by which one perceives in all beings a single immutable substance, indivisible though seemingly divided, know that knowledge arises from sattva. What is our sattva? our idea of sattva, our idea of purity is wearing certain type of clothes, taking bath, having certain marks on your head. If I sit here with a banyan on, a vest on, and I don't wear my kurta, or I think if I'm wearing a jacket and sitting, he's very modern. If I take out my jacket and take out my shirt, what happened to Swamiji today? Why is he in his singlet? I can be without clothes also. But people watching will have a problem. But that is, I think, he is avadhut. Without clothes, avadhut. Little clothes, Mahatma. Why? Not my. Pressed clothes, I think he is just like that. Wearing jacket and everything, I think he is a very modern fellow, Mahatma, sannyasi. We have our own, and if there are marks and you're doing puja and you are lighting the lamp every day, you're chanting Vishnu Sahasranam, you're doing Vedic chanting, you're doing so many things. But there, why? No, I'm involved in everything sattvic. I listen to lectures, everything, every day. I attend satsangs every week. I do chanting, I do japa, I do puja, everything. But everyone who knows that person avoids. Why? Manipulative person. Angry person. For small things he becomes angry. Controlling person. His way is the only way. Where the purification has happened, if all these things we have got involved in and it is not resulting in a fragrance where people feel comfortable, they want to be in the company, they want to listen, they want to talk to you, they want to interact with you, then we are, at least we don't have any control over what other people do, but in our eyes, in our heart, in our mind, there is no duragraha means we do not live a life of insistence, we do not live a life of hatred or dislike, we do not live a life of, here the verse is saying, we develop as a result the knowledge. See, what are we do? What was the previous verse talking about? Jnata, Neya and Jnanam. And then it talked about Karta, Karana and Karma. Isn't it? Karta, Karma and Karanam means the doer, done and the deed. Where is the doer possible? Only where there is body identification, right? When you have accepted yourself to be the body, then only the doer or the karta becomes invoked. Why? Because he has got identified with the body, that's all. But when we go to the general principle, what is that general principle? Mind. What is happening in the mind? The knower knowing is taking place all the time. The waker waking world and the waking experience is happening. The dreamer dream world and dream, nothing. There's no good and bad in that. It's a phenomena. It's taking place, isn't it? Problem begins with identification. Problem begins with ownership. See, ownership not only of deeds, but ownership of knowledge also. I am thinking, I am the knower. The moment you become the knower, the whole plot is lost. So here the teacher, the Bhagwan, says that by which one perceives in all beings a single immutable substance. This is the vision of the goldsmith. When anyone, whatever money you may have given to him, for an anklet, for a ring, for a necklace, for a bracelet, when he buys it back from you, he does not buy the form. He buys back from you the gold. His attention is on the substratum, his attention is on that which is pervading every ornament. But when you go and buy gold, you don't go to buy gold. Then what do you go to buy? You go to buy the necklace, you go to buy the form. And because you are so focused and infatuated by the form, many times you are tricked because inside the gold there is only luck. Sometimes gold is mixed with something, or it's given just a thin layer of gold on the top, but inside it is brass. Many things like this happen. Why? Because you are fascinated by the design. You have not learned, you have not educated yourself how to test whether the gold is real or not. And anyway, even if you know that it is pure gold, you are paying that extra money for the form, for the workmanship. But the goldsmith, he is buying his attention. He does not want the form. He says, you keep the form, give me the gold. And we are exactly the opposite. So sattvic knowledge is that where we see the essence in everyone and everything. So what is the essence in everything? What is the essence of every object? What is the essence of every object? It is existence. That's right. The substratum, the common denominator for every object is existence. What is the common denominator for every living thing, living being? It is life, consciousness, isn't it? Including God's, huh? So life is there, consciousness is there. So is our attention, if our attention is on the substratum, if our attention is on the consciousness, then your disposition towards all the children will be the same as is your disposition towards your child. But because, just like that customer at the goldsmith shop, because this is my child, you have invested more in it, and your attention is on the form and your attention is not on the tattva, your attention is not on the essence, and therefore we become crystallized, we become small. Our consciousness, which is by nature infinite, by nature it wants to experience the infinite, it is of the nature of bliss, it is the expression of bliss. But because my child, only one form is mine. Why one form is mine? Because this one form is mine, and from this one form another form was created, so that form is also mine. We have to drop this body oriented thinking, and you start thinking from the mind orientation. Just like in the dream, every form in the dream is nothing but from my mind only. So I don't have hatred, nor do I have any liking for those people. And because you are equanimous, because you are not entangled in the children, in the husband, in the wife, in the parents, in the dream, or in the experiences in the dream, you don't even have an urge. Some fools may have, but majority of us, we don't have the urge to go back into the same dream and have the same form or have the same parents. We are okay. Every day is new one, no problem. But then in the waking, we are obsessed. This is duragraha, insistence that I am only this form and this is my only child, or this is my only husband, these are only my parents. So when you read biographies of Mahatmas, they say they see the mother, they see the goddess mother in all the beings, or in all the girls, all the women, all the young girls, all the mothers, all the grandmothers, they see the goddess expressing, or they have the feeling of mother attitude, that they are their mother. That is common. How Ammachi goes and hugs all the people. Why Jnaneshwar Maharaj is called Mauli? Why? He is a young boy. He is telling Bhagavad Gita. He is only 12, 14 years old. But he is famous around entire, not only Maharashtra, but outside Maharashtra also. He is famous as Jnaneshwar Mauli. Why? Because of the quality of nourishing, of compassion, of care, of patience, that is expressing out of someone told me the other day, this last weekend, in Sanskrit. So about 6, 7 kids are there, few kids are there, and 2, 3 adults are there. So kids are kids, and they get distracted, and then they come back, and then we are going through each sentence, and this is the verb, this is the noun, it is in nominative, this is that, and he's saying, oh, which sentence? So patiently I explained, this is the verse. Why are you not focusing? You should be going with, if there are 7 people, you don't have to focus only on the 7th one. You have to go through every one, so that you remember what the verb is, what the noun is, whether it is male, female, what are the indeclinables, etc. And patiently, at that moment, other people think I am patient. I know what is going on inside me. But when the class was over, one of the guys comes and says, Swamiji, oh my God, how much patience you have. But after 2 times of telling, I would have given my children one, or I would have screamed at them that they can't understand in 2 times. And you are repeating again and again and again and again and again. Thank God I am not your child. So, that by which one perceives in all beings a single immutable substance, the single immutable, undifferentiated, common denominator, that substance among all the waves is that infinite water. Among all the ornaments is that one indivisible gold. Among all the pots is that one indivisible earth. What is that common denominator, that substance which is common in all living beings that we are? It is that life or consciousness. Is our attention on that conscious principle? You cannot be focusing on the conscious principle in others. You have to become aware of that conscious principle in you. Then it will become available for you in others. So first become available to yourself, and naturally you will become available to that conscious principle within you if you are in the sattvic mode. That is the threshold. That is the what you call that is where the gravity of the mind ends. Where? Sattvic. At the peak of sattva, that is where, just like our Charles Branson, isn't it? Charles Branson, Virgin Atlantic. He took his rocket, he jumped took the rocket to the edge of the space, went into space, which means he escaped, he went beyond, he transcended the atmosphere of Earth, which means to a large extent the gravity of Earth, went into space, stayed there for 3, 4, 5 minutes, whatever it was, and then their rocket come plane, it entered back into the Earth's environment and came back and landed. This is exactly, are we able to come out of the gravity of the three gunas? You cannot come out. When you come out of the gravity of the tamoguna, you will come to rajoguna. When you come out of the gravity of the dynamism or rajoguna, you will come to sattva-guna. And sattva-guna, today's lecture I began, don't go into all those signs. Sattva-guna means the ability to recognize the common denominator in and through the creation, and that is only possible atmatvena. If you have recognized it, only then you will be, your vision will get transformed to see that, isn't it? Just like if someone has never tasted sugar, you can tell him as much as you want, he will understand, but he can never get the experience of what sweetness is, isn't it? But once he has tasted sweet, then can he explain what sweetness is? He can write PhDs, but until and unless the next person has not tasted, as many books he may read about sweetness, he cannot experience sweetness. So here, what does it mean to develop a vision which sees the commonness? That vision is not the result of your doing anything. It is not the work of the intellect. It is not the work of your mind. It is not the work of your senses. That ability to suss out or be at one ment with the tattva, the substance that is common to everything and everyone, is only possible when you have recognized that you are that It is pervading you also. It is pervading the mind also. In fact, it's not even pervading the mind, it is you. It is the only thing that there is. Then only the intellect, the mind, if the intellect drops all its preformed notions about who it was, and it was a waker, dreamer, sleeper, it was a body, male, female, he was born here, all that, it drops everything. Now his intellect's conviction, when it again clicks back, what does it mean to go into space and then come back into Earth atmosphere? It means you go into Nirvikalpa Samadhi and come back into body gravity. That's what it is. Come back into the mind. And then accept, the mind accepts, because still the data is there that I am a body. So that it will be like Nirvikalpa Samadhi. Going into empty space, weightlessness, and coming back. So where is the weight? Weight is with the notions, weight is with the convictions. And as long as any conviction which is less than the direct experience that I am all that there is, it will have some weightage. It will pull you down. It will keep you frustrated. It will keep you agitated. It will keep making you put efforts to go beyond efforts. You see, because it's a conviction that I am the body, or I am the mind, or I am a jiva, I am an individual, or even the conviction that I am of the nature of pure consciousness, but this conviction has not been realized yet. Till then it is a weight, it is a load that the ego is carrying. Which ego? Sattvic ego. Sattvic ego. So we want to go beyond it. And here the second part says, that by which one perceives in all beings a single immutable substance, indivisible though seemingly divided, know that knowledge arises from sattva. This is the stage where you start sussing out. When we were studying in the ashram, Swamiji took us to a hotel. They had refurbished the hotel, and that owner of the hotel, she used to come to our satsang in the ashram every day. The morning one she will attend, and then by 10, after attending 2 lectures, she will go back. And one day she said, Swamiji, please bring all of, and we will do a buffet. And her hotel is just on the Chowpatty on the beach. Citizen Hotel. And we were all there. And we had just studied. After 6-7 months, we are getting chance to get out of the ashram. And the first thing is the ocean. Suddenly, wave and ocean example is swimming in front of us. So we are looking at the water, and we are looking, oh, this is all water. This is not a wave, but you are seeing the wave. And we are all, and Swamiji came, gave one to everyone from behind. What? Why are you so serious? Are you lost in water? Are you lost in water and all enthusiastic brahmacharis? But this is what happens. Until and unless you don't, the seeker, once he is exposed to this knowledge of Vedanta, of seeing the commonality, and he starts seeing the commonality. He says, yeah, it is common. What is the commonality? Out of all the people, all of us sitting here, the vision is the common principle. Eyes may be different, vision is common. Nose may be different, but breathing is common, principle wise. You don't walk on your hands, we all walk on our feet only. Whichever way, straight, bit crooked, but we all walk on the feet, common principle. Your body and my body, his body, her body, everyone's body is made up of the same material. Same bacteria are there, same hemoglobin is there, similar the texture or maybe the yes O, B plus, A plus, all that is different. But blood is common, no? In the sense, meaning the word blood, you don't say no, I don't. I have acid inside me. No, you also say I have blood inside me, or you have got NaCl, what sodium chloride inside. No, you also have blood only. So everyone has blood. Everyone has hair. Color may be different. So when you get exposed to Vedanta, it is but natural, if you are sincere, that your vision starts sussing out the general rules of engagement, general principles that are prevalent as you are moving around. As you are moving around. See, for example, some people ask why why corona is there, why the world is like this, why China is attacking India, why there is so much problem in Afghanistan, why there is so much famine, why so many people are dying, how come in America so many people died in spite of them being the first world country, why in Australia only 10 people and we are putting a 5-day lockdown, and in India 60,000 every day and no lockdown. Why? What do you say? Because your attention is on specifics. Therefore, all the differences are there and many unresolved happenings are going on, and you are comparing them, and therefore you are not seeing the common denominator. So what is the common denominator with regards to the world? Huh? Okay, he says change. What else? Tell us one time, from whatever your knowledge of history is, from whatever, 100 years, 500 years, 1000 years, 2000 years, 3000 years, 4000 years, Mahabharata, Ramayana, Satyuga. When has there been a time when such things, what are happening today, have not been happening? Yesterday only someone was saying, oh, if Krishna should have been there. I said, because that person's, some relative is dying. Oh, but you can only feel how Buddha must be feeling when his relatives must be dying, his mother must be dying, his brother must be dying. What might be like? I said, so he's saying, thinking wise about himself. Oh, how did Krishna feel? I said, Krishna, before he left the earth, he himself killed, I don't know how many, hundreds and thousands of his own kinsmen, because they came to attack him, and Balram, because they all went to Prabhas Kshetra, and there they have been cursed, so they get the reeds, they get drunk after the puja, and they're only playing, thinking that it is a reed, but that reed is actually a sword, because it was born from the pestle which had been crushed and thrown into the waters of the ocean. And one person kills, suddenly there are so many factions within a family, there are so many factions, what to talk of a kingdom? All the factions took sides, they started fighting each other, killing each other, and Krishna and Balrama are somewhere away. Then they say, someone comes and says they are fighting with each other. They go there and they try to stop them from fighting. All of them, they become, enemies unite. And they say, who are you to tell us? It is all because of you that we are fighting and we have come here. And they start, who can kill Krishna and Balram? Nobody. So they also fight back. And eventually, every single male, except old people, every single male dies. So when has there been a time When has there been a time when such type of conditions, wars, disease, pandemics, epidemics, famine, corruption, terrorism not happened? See, why did I tell you all this? Why did I tell you this story? Lost the plot. To bring your attention to the common denominator. So, with regards to the world, instead of asking why, how, where, when, what if, no, common denominator, where to bring peace to your mind. When has there been a time that these situations have not taken place, have not come about? Some period of time they are more, sometimes they are less. 2 years ago, everyone was traveling everywhere around the world. Everyone was happy. Everyone was eating out. Everyone was investing in shares. Everything was going. It's still going up. Wait till it goes down. Huh? So everything. But now suddenly everyone is complaining. And who will get depressed? Who is not programmed his mind, who has not learned to see that this is the way of the world. They will suffer. They will get depressed. They will be sad. They will expect something else to happen. Not recognizing that change, as you said, change is the nature of the world. It will change. But when will it happen? It's always happening. But now your problem is, when will it change according to how I want it? For that, the answer is you change your mind. Instead of focusing on the world, you focus on the conscious principle. You remain equanimous. You remain with a balanced mind. For that, you have to do a bit of papad belne padenge. And what is that? Control your senses, control your mind, attend satsang so that your intellect gets reformatted. So whatever activity we are doing in our daily life, because previous chapter was, this chapter, how it began with the Karma Yoga. Why are we doing karma? What is the purpose of doing karma? What is the purpose of activity? Activity done with ownership is called karma. What is the purpose of activity? Only one. Purification of antahakarana. Purification of mana, buddhi, chitta, ahankar. Purification of mind, intellect, memory and ego. If this is not coming about as a result of you putting efforts in your daily life, you are going wrong somewhere in your approach. You're going wrong. What is the expression of purification of your antakaran? Your lightness of being. You're happy for no reason. And that lightness of being will reformat your attention. Then these words will click. And that lightness of being will automatically bring about, that purification will automatically bring about. We are not talking even about realization. It will automatically bring about a more expanded mind, and expanded mind is an inclusive mind. Right now what it is? Inclusive of my husband, my children, my parents and my friends. Rest of the world, hoot. Let it go to dogs. But as a result of purification, you want or you don't want, purification will bring about a disposition of an inclusive mind. Just like the entire dream experience is inclusive within your mind only, no? This will come about while waking also. This is the disposition of the sattvic knowledge, sattvic jnana. See how We are not even talking about realization. So here Jnaneshwar Maharaj now says, तरी अर्जुना गाते पुढे सात्विक ज्ञान चोखडे जयाच्या उदयी ज्ञेय बुडे ज्ञाते निसी जैसा सूर्य न देखे अधारे अंधारे सरिता नेणी जती सागरे का कवळिलिया न धरे आत्मछाया तया परिजया ज्ञाना शिवादी तृणावसाना या भूत व्यक्ति भिन्ना ना डळती. Oh, I've gone ahead. No, okay. Oh Arjuna, this is pure sattvic knowledge in which the knowable object is dissolved along with the knower. So what is this? What is sattvic knowledge? Sattvic knowledge is where the knowable object is dissolved with the meaning what? Means what? The knower and known become one. You have a desire. What is the desire? I have a desire to drink water now. So I have a desire. I know there is water here. I pick up the water. The desire is making the hand pick up the water. It brings the water to the lips. Now what happened? If you are tamasic your approach is tamasic, you will say, oh, you drank the water, it went into your tummy. But here, what is happening? The drinker and the drunk became one. The one who was thirsty, who was having the desire for water, he, the drinker, and what was drunk? The water. They became one. What happened as a result? What happened as a result? The desire went away. The desire dissolved. The desire dissolved. The desire dissolved. So is it possible? Are we going to go through every object and every object of knowledge? Hey, I have to go become one with him. I have to become one with her. I have to become one with him. I have to become with this thing. Oh, pizza, I have to become one with it. Oh, chocolate, I have to become. You will go crazy, isn't it? You will become crazy. So when you recognize that the material which has gone into the knower, the material which has gone into the known is one and the same, then there will be no desire. You understand? So do you have desire for the dream wife, the dream children, the dream world? Do you have desire? No. Why? Because it was all a figment of imagination of the mind. It's a very important statement. If you say figment of imagination, the mind itself became I, the mind itself became the object, the mind itself became the desire, everything, and therefore you don't have desire for it. All the interactions and the separation, the differences that were pursued by the dreamer were not pursued as a dreamer. He was experiencing himself as awake. He was pursuing it with an ego. He was pursuing it thinking that all this is separate. But when you wake up, you recognize that it was only a figment of imagination. Have we given the status of figment of imagination to our husband? Have we given a status of figment of imagination to this body? To this experience of the world, which is changing every moment? You are understanding it. You are all understanding it. But for it to have that status of what you have, the status you have given to the dream experience, something needs to shift in this waking state. Something needs to shift. And that is your obsession from the name and form. You have to withdraw your energies, you have to withdraw your senses, you have to withdraw your mind, you have to bring your intellect and position it on that which has become the total experience. On that which has become, which is the expression of that. The total experience is the expression of that alone. So, knower, known, knowing is an expression of that one. Right? Now, how that one infinite reality alone is expressing as the known? Oh, I can't see it. Purify. Do the karma. And all your activity, all your speech, all your thinking, all your deeds in your daily life must bring about purification. Purification means as a result of those actions, new desires are not born. That is purification. Purification means as a result of that activity, no new impressions are created. That is purification. Is it happening? The moment we wake up in the morning, first desire. Hey, train, what time is the train I have to catch? Oh, what time is my child, the children have to go to school? In our house it's different. Is someone taking shower? If someone is taking shower, I will not get the full pressure of water. Oh, wait, desire. Oh, I am thirsty. I must, what I should do? Oh, every morning I get up and drink 2 bottles of water. Oh, desire. Desire. And if you have forgotten your bottle and it's creating agitation, arey yaar, why did I forget the water bottle? Why did I not fill them up last night? Desire. Or you have woken up and you are writhing like a snake in the bed for next 5 minutes, half an hour, 1 hour. Desire. Desire of the ignorant bliss. Continue that bliss. We won't get up and chant the mantra or do some meditation or contemplation. No, we want to remain ignorant in that bliss. Oh, it's cold. How much temperature? In that sleepy mode, we'll get up, we'll open. Oh, it's only 4:15. Arey baapre, what will I do? Get up at 4:15, and then quickly, only one flick nowadays. One flick. What? 7 degrees. Just reading, seeing 7 degrees, you start shivering. And what is the next? Desire to again get into the doona or the blanket and remain there for another. Till you are pushed out because you have to do things. Desire. So we have, why I am telling you all this, we have to, all our activity happens at manasa vacha kaya, mind, speech and body. It must result in purification. Purification is equal to no precipitation of impressions, and purification also means no willfully desiring anything to happen in a particular way in your daily life. Oh, thank you, Swamiji. From today we start that way. No willful. Then you only said don't will anything, so I remained in bed. You only said don't will anything. I didn't go to work. There was no will. I didn't go to school. Swamiji said it. No, that is not. Initially, it has to be a If this thought is coming, understand you need to practice discipline. When it happens, it will not be it will not be a thought. It will be a natural disposition. So, where are we? So he says, "Oh Arjuna, that is pure sattvic knowledge in which the knowable object is dissolved along with the knower. Knower and known are dissolved. Where can they be dissolved? When will the wave along, can it have the experience of the infinite waters? Can it have the experience of water? Full stop. Can the wave have the experience of water? No, because it is calling itself a wave because of its form. So there is a doer and there is, I want to realize, I want to purify, I want to know who I really am. They say I am the water, but what is water? Question. As long as the question is there, who am I? You will not get an answer. If you are getting an answer, it cannot be, your mind is fooling you. Who am I cannot give an answer. It will take, what who am I results in, it takes away all questions. It doesn't give you an answer. Because self is not an object of knowledge which can be received as an answer. So wave is essentially water, and if it is seeking water, wave cannot become its own experience because it is already that. Then what will happen in that? In being the water, what will happen? The knower and known will dissolve. So the knower was wanting to know the self. See, when we are talking about sattvic necessarily means your object of knowledge is not out there in the world. It is very important. Sattvic necessarily means that the object of knowledge is not out there in the world. Everything in this world is a product of space-time objectivity. Knower is also born in that, in the mind. The known is also in the mind only. But because we are at the body identified level, we perceive it outside. That's the only problem. But the knower and the known, both of them are in the mind. Remember the Triputi that we talked about in last class or the class before? But the one who knows is someone else. The one who knows, waker, waking world, and the waking experience is there. Dreamer, dream world, dream experience is there. Who knows? He is other than these. But when you do not go to sleep, when you are not agitated and restless like in dream, but you come to the waking state, which is at a general level a sattvic state, and in that sattvic state you transcend the tamas called the body, you transcend the agitations of the mind, and you come to settle in sattva as a result of purification, which means you are seeking the self. So the knower, what is his object of knowledge now? His object of knowledge is the I. So when this physical I is seeking the physical I, can there be an experience? No. Seer and seen have become one. Yet the knowledge is there, but it is not a thought knowledge. Vision is not a thought, it is there. Same way in the mind also, the knower and known. This is called absolute integrity. Absolute. Nothing to be done after that. Just as the sun does not see the darkness, or the sea does not know the river, or one cannot grasp one's shadow with one's hand, so this knowledge does not discern any distinction among beings from Lord Shiva to a blade of grass. Huh? From Lord Shiva. Why Lord Shiva? Why not Brahmaji? Brahmaji is the creator. Why he took the name of Lord Shiva? Firstly, Jnaneshwar Maharaj belongs to the Natha Sampradaya, which is from Paramashiva. Huh? And when we talk about the world, we look at it as cause and effect. Effect is the world, and what is the cause? The cause is in very general terms, I'm not going to go deep into it, but waking and dream are the effect, cause is the deep sleep. So who is the Lord of the deep sleep? Lord Shiva and Parvati. Who is the Lord of the waking? Vishnu and Lakshmi. Who is the Lord of the dream? Brahma and Brahmani, isn't it? So, if waking and dream is taken as effect, who is the cause? Naturally, Lord Shiva is the cause. Without him, nothing. So, when everything goes away, absence is still there. What is that absence? What is the principle which is prevalent? Who is the witness of that absence, if we may use that word? Absence is nothing to be witnessed. Absence is not an object of knowledge. But Yoga Sutra says that absence is also only a thought, and that also needs to be given up, or you recognize that that thought is coming and going and you are the witness of it. So you must be other than that thought of absence. Just as the sun does not see the darkness. From sun's point of view, darkness it's only a word which has got no meaning. Just as for you, dream is only a word. It has got no meaning. Yes, many idiots have written a lot of theories about it, but it has got no meaning. Just as from gold's point of view, ornament has got no meaning. From water's point of view, ocean and wave, totality and individuality has got no meaning. Similarly, here it says, so this knowledge does not discern any distinction among beings. And where are the beings possible? From the totality to the individuality. The Triphuti, Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, with their potentialities, right down to the blade of grass is still very big. Go to amoeba or even smaller bacteria, to the tiniest than tiny expression of matter. Continuing, जैसे हाथे चित्र पाहता होय पाणिये मीठ धुता काचे वोनी स्वप्नायेता जैसे होय तैसे ज्ञाने जेणे करिता ज्ञातव्याते पाहणे जाणता ना जाणणे जाणावे उरे पैसोने आटूनी लेणी न काढिती आपुलिया आयणी कातरंग न घेपती पाणी गाळूनी जैसे तैसी जया ज्ञानाची आहाता न लगेची दृश्यपथा ते ज्ञान जाण सर्वदा सात्विक गा. He says, just as a picture on the wall is lost when it is smeared with cow dung, or salt is dissolved when washed in water, or the dream disappears after waking up, so when the knowable is seen in the light of knowledge, when the knowable is seen, knowable, object of knowledge is the knowable. It is seen with what? It is seen with the, it is seen in the light of knowledge. What is the light of knowledge? Light of knowledge is the witnessing consciousness. or the self, you can say. Not even witnessing consciousness, but the self. One step below is witnessing consciousness. Light of knowledge, the distinction between the knower, the knowledge, and the knowable vanishes. Therefore, they say, even when you are doing activity, be where your hands are. Be at one with the work that you are doing. Washing dishes, be at one with it. Cooking, be at one with it. Walking, be at one with it. But majority of the people, why the problem? They are walking but thinking about rest of the problems. Washing dishes, why other people don't wash, only I wash. Cooking, every day I have to cook. When will I get a break from this cooking? Speaking, when will this speaking stop? Always wishing for something else rather than accepting what is taking place and being at one with it, because you cannot escape it. Can I escape the talk at this moment? See, if this is where life has placed me at this moment, I have to just do it with inspiration. Don't allow options to erupt in your mind. The moment you get options, you are confused. The more options you give to your mind, what I have to give? I have to keep talking about the same thing. This was talked about in chapter 2, 3, 4, 5 also. Why I have to repeat again? And I ask, nobody can answer. Why I have to keep talking? But then if I go in this train of thought, I am inviting frustration. I am expecting some result by this talk. But if I am subjective, what is the subjective? I don't care if someone listens to or not. It is an opportunity for me to talk to my mind. Has my mind benefited from it? Yes. Is it transforming? I hope. Continue. Then in what manner will you continue? In what manner will you continue? Mind by nature is extrovert. We have trained him to be that way. Now what are we doing? What is this knowledge doing to the mind? If I am talking to my mind, it is the student, it is the seeker. Then what am I teaching it? I am trying to teach this student, this mind, that it must bring about a homogeneous vision where he sees only oneness, isn't it? That's what I'm wanting. That's what, not even a desire, but if I have to use those words, that if I'm giving this lecture and mind is the first seeker, then this transformation must come in the mind. The mind must be able to come to this point where the knower known knowing dissolves. If it is not taking place, when can it take place? When this dissolution of the Triputi will happen? Will it happen tomorrow? No. Will it happen yesterday? No. When? Now. While talking. While talking. Accepting that there is no talker, there is no one talk to, consciousness talking to consciousness, expressing as all this variety. Ha ha hoo hoo. हम करते हैं ना तैतरी अपने हा हू अहमन्नम This is what ha hoo, consciousness talking to consciousness. Water playing with water is wave. So has the wave any existence apart from water? No. Has mind any existence apart from consciousness? No. This was the thought yesterday also in Kenopanishad, in much detail. See? Wonderful. Where are we? Just as a picture on the wall is lost when it is smeared with cow dung, or salt is dissolved when washed in water. So salt goes to see how deep the ocean is or how salty the water is. It loses itself and becomes the infinite ocean itself. Same way, where are we? Or the dream disappears after waking up. You cannot access neither the house, neither the experience, neither the people waking up. So when the knowable is seen in the light of knowledge, if there is no light in this room, if I grope in the darkness, like 10 blind people, they go together to search and they want to realize the Brahman. And when they come across a huge akriti means form. So, and it is an elephant. And he is enjoying himself. These 10 blind meaning ignorant, can't see. So one holds the tail. Hey, Brahman is something with a bushy end. Another one comes and touches the leg. He says, no, it is like a pillar. Another one comes and touches the tusk. He says, no, it is something curved and hard. And another comes and touches the what do you call, the trunk. He says, no, it is something flexible and curvy. Each one is talking about that elephant out of ignorance, because they are talking about the same but only one part. Do you talk like this about you? I am only the hand, or I am only the leg, or I am only the eye, or I am only the nose, or I am only the waker, or I am only the dreamer? No. But you are living like that, accepting yourself only to be the waker. So you and that blind person is not different. Only one aspect of that you have accepted as real, rest of it is zero value. Then the Guru Maharaj comes, a person with a eye passing by, and all these, hey, I come to know Brahman is like this. But the Bekuf, they are fools. The total thing is elephant. But each one is excited because he has caught only something. We have caught our husband, we have caught our child, we have caught our family, we have caught our house, we have got our health. We are excited. Totality is something different. Totality meaning the common denominator is something different. Going beyond the triad is something different. For that, our mind must be totally integrated. Dissolution of jnata, jnanam, jnaya, knower, known, knowing, dissolution of these three is equal to integration of your personality. Personality is only in the mind, isn't it? So this is the integration that is taking place. And integration is when less options, all differences start melting into one. Perfect synchronization, ultimate synchronization. So compared to tamas, rajas seems to be integrated experience. Compared to rajas, sattva seems to be an integrated experience. Compared to sattva, samadhi seems to be an integrated experience. But compared to samadhi, sahaja samadhi, the natural state, ever remaining as the indivisible one, yet expressing, seeing that one expressing in the variety called the creation, that will be ultimate integration, isn't it? Then that integration word also is null and void. Why? Because there is, for integration you need two, there is no two. For integration you need three, there is no three now. There is only one and one alone. So no integration. See? So satsang helps us develop this vision, looking at everything from a different angle of approach. And this approach is such that it removes the old approaches and does not create a conviction of the new approach. This knowledge is such that it removes the old notions which were establishing differences. Sattvic Jnana means it brings about that knowledge, it brings about that disposition where no new notion is created. Being the self is not a notion. Being the self is not a notion. It is you. You have always been. Except we have to come to that point. Till we have not come to that point, we will remain a seeker. Who is seeking what? Seeking that. And how long will you keep seeking? Till you do not come to this realization that you are it. Tattvamasi. You are that. So you will not say you are that. Acha, who that who? No, I am that. And this I am that will not be a thought out result. It is a knowingness without thinking. How is that possible? How is that possible? Have you seen mind? No, but you know mind is there. Have you seen thoughts? No, but you know thoughts are there.
It is possible because it is.
It is. Have you seen darkness? No, but but you say there is darkness. There is nothing called darkness. There is nothing called light also. There is nothing called light. Then what are you seeing? You are seeing reflected light. Then what is the nature of light? Dark light. You go into space, you will see light only where there is a surface for it to reflect. What is coming? Only dark light is coming. The rays are dark in the space. There is no color to them. But when they hit an object, call it the International Space Station or the rocket or whatever, then you see the light gets reflected on it. And when it passes through the Earth's atmosphere, it hits against the particles, the dust particles in the air, the molecules in the air, and it reflects on those water molecules or dust particles, and the refracted light that you see is the light that you see, sunlight. You call it sunlight, but actually sunlight is not there. The distinction between the knower, the knowledge, and the knowable vanishes. The Triputi dissolves. You cannot dissolve one by one. You try to dissolve one, all the three will dissolve. Here what are we doing? We are reassessing the status of the knower. That is the substratum, isn't it? Knower, objects are many, known are many. Knowing can be through senses, through thoughts, through emotions, through convictions, through concept, through imagination. That also so much variety is there. But the knower is always the same. Knower is always the same. So you come to determine what is this fellow's nature. Who is this fellow? Scriptures are saying he is the witness. Witness of all the three. Yes, we told you, explained to you before. But I am thinking also and I am the witness. Who's witnessing? Aren't you the one who's witnessing the waking dream and deep sleep come and go every day? Yes, yeah. So you must be witnessing right now also. Now, to dissect the knower, and is that dissection possible? No, you cannot dissect the knower from the infinite self. You cannot dissect the wave and say this is wave and this is water. Can you do it? Can you dissect the ornament and the gold? No, you cannot. If you remove the water from the wave has no existence. See the conundrum that we are faced with. So knower is one only. But what does he atmatvena, subjectively what he accepts himself to be, itself to be? Is he a knower which comes and goes with every knowledge, or is he the knower who is the constant one? Then naturally he will be the self. And this is the way to dissolve. When the knower becomes, because knower is always with respect to known. Now what is the known? The knower is trying to come to know the knower is trying to come to know the, conclude the sentence.
Knowledge.
No.
Self.
Copycat.
No, there's no cat here.
The knower is wanting to know what? Wanting to know the knower. So the knower is, what is the object of knowledge for the knower? Knower is the object of knowledge for knower. That means I is seeking I. I is wanting to know I. It is never possible. The Triputi will dissolve. Triputi will, if anything else other than I is the object of knowledge, the triad will continue. Only when subjective, when the I is seeking the I, that attempt has to be made. And this is not a copy paste, because Ramana Maharishi said, so who am I? I want to know myself. Or this topic is going on, knower, known, knowing. The knower and the object of knowledge is the knower itself. Oh, okay, I will do that. No, it will not happen only. It may happen. I am no one to judge you or tell you that it is not possible. It is possible. It's grace. But don't wait for that. Work towards it. Purify, 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 purify. Work in the world in such a manner that live every moment with inspiration, wherever your hands are, whatever the job has come in front, whatever is happening, do it full tilt, 110%, without expectation, without creating a memory of it. Keep flowing, keep flowing. The result will be you come into the sattvic state. Where are we? One does not test the gold in ornaments by melting them, nor does anyone strain the waves to obtain water. He is giving it in a different way. Nobody tests the ornament. You test the gold only to check if it is 100% gold. Nobody tests the ornament. Ornament is only name given to the form of the gold, isn't it? You don't strain the wave to get the water. No, wave is nothing but water. Same way, obtain water. In the same way, know that knowledge to be sattvic, which does not concern itself with the world of appearance. This is very important. So, what is sattvic knowledge? That knowledge where the seeker, the I, is pursuing something which is not an object of knowledge of the world. Now, for this to happen, you must have correct understanding of what the world is. So what is world? Let's define. We already did it in beginning of this chapter, but I don't know if you remember. So what is world? Brainstorm session. What is Jagat?
Names and forms.
Huh? Jagat is names and forms. Okay. Next. Huh? She says everything other than the self is the world. Sattva, Rajas, Tamas is the world. Okay. But let's go stepwise. What is that? This entire space, time, objectivity is the world. Then all the names and forms in the world is the world. Correct? Okay, they are not disturbing me. Then what happens? This body is the world, is also part of the world. In this body, again, from body identification, you have to go beyond the senses. Who knows the body? The senses know the body. Senses are the world. What is that because of which the senses are? The mind. Mind is the world. What is mind due to? The intellect. Intellect is the world. What is intellect? Intellect means ego, the I. What is because of the I?
Chetana.
What is the cause of the I? The Chaitanya Vastu or the Chetana, the life principle. See? And Chetana or the life principle, the consciousness is because of the Chaitanya Vastu, the infinite self. So, if I is thinking of I, it is still thinking in a worldly way. It is still thinking in a worldly way. Why? Because when I say who am I and I say I am me, till this dialogue is going on, I am, soham, you are still in your mind. But there is someone who knows that this is going on. This is where the ajapajap sthiti, vaikhari madhyama pashanti para, this is where we come to recognize, in spite of thinking, that we are other than the mind. Then can the mind think about the one who is other than the mind? No. Then that thinking will stop. That jap will also stop. Then this contemplation, who am I, this will also stop. That's why I said it's not a conclusion.
So then it is fair to say the self which is forgotten itself is the world.
No, why should we say forgotten?
He doesn't realize that it himself is the world. Self.
Okay. From Shankaracharya's point of view, self, forgetting himself is the world. From Jnaneshwar Maharaj's point of view, it's a Ishwar Advayavad. So Jnaneshwar Maharaj, what he says, the self playing with himself is the world. Difference. Water playing with water is the wave. Gold playing with gold is the ornament. Same way, reality playing with reality is the world. And this is how Amrit Anubhav begins. Paramashiva desired. Why? He is everything. What can he desire?
So in a way saying
Himself.
Shiva flame itself is the Shakti.
When not Shiva, Paramashiva.
Parameshwar.
When Paramashiva desires, the moment he becomes aware of the desire, why is the desire? That is the phenomena. Shakti is always there. The moment he becomes aware of the Shakti, that very moment Paramashiva, which is one without a second, becomes two, Shiva Shakti. Then Shakti becomes Sattva, Rajas, Tamas, then Virat Purush, Hiranyagarbha, Virat Purush, etc. etc. So, two different approaches. Shankaracharya also begins that out of ignorance of the self, we are lost in the world. That world has come about as a result of our ignorance of the self, forgetfulness of the self. And then when you come to know the self, when you read this particular verse and you come to abide in the self, then you will again come to what Ishwar Advayavad says, that the whole world is the expression, the reality playing with reality. In other words, we have talked about this before. Mind is nothing but consciousness. But what consciousness? Consciousness with thoughts is the mind. So, is the mind apart from consciousness? No. And who are you? Consciousness itself. So, what is that mind with consciousness? That is the potentiality of the self, which is inherent within the self. What is wave? A potentiality within the water, inherent within the water, which becomes invoked
It's a wave.
and expresses. Expresses for whom? For others. But for water, it remains the same. And if we have to put words to it, it is an expressionless expression for the water. From water's point of view, it's an expressionless expression. Dream, it's an expression. It is also and it is not also. Rainbow, it's an expression. It appeared also, but actually it is not there. The blueness of the sky, it is there, but it is not there. I can, if we take these examples, there is no end to it. Exactly the same way. If we have understood this, that the entire creation is only in expression of our mind by way of thoughts, what is mind? It is an expressionless expression of the infinite self. So, just like Shakti is of Shiva, what is the Shakti of this self? The mind. Is she separate from Shiva? No. Is mind separate from the self? No. You are considering it different. That is a story, different story. But if you stand at the Shiva, where Shiva is standing, or where Parama Shiva is, or where the self is, from there if you see, mind is an expression of mind alone. It is not separate to me. It is not something to be destroyed. It is not something to be annihilated. It is not something to be controlled. It is not something to be subdued. It is not something to be put into a cage. It is not something to be broken. These are all tamasic practices. These are all tamasic practices. In Ishvara, in Kashmiri Shaivism, it's a very healthy, from beginning itself, it is seen as an expression of the potentiality of the self alone. And with that approach, when you take it, then as I am saying, when I am giving this lecture is taking place. What is taking place at this moment? The mind is educating itself. One part of the mind, the consciousness, I. The other part of consciousness, the variety. So that mind in which both are there, the I is also there, the knower is also there, and the known is also there. And why this dialogue is taking place? To educate this mind that, hey, you are essentially the inseparable from the infinite. You are not separate from the infinite. Then survival thing will come into the mind. If mind comes to this realization, or comes to this conviction, or has this notion that realization means I have to die, it will do everything in its trick, all the tricks it has. Maya is tricky, isn't it? It will use every damn trick which it has collected over n number of lifetimes.
But that is only if the mind is just playing the game that I'm looking for. But the mind is focused that, no, that's what I'm really looking for, then it will be prepared to die. Like Patanga wants to be one with the fire.
No, we do not accept that. Ishwar Advaivad, Kashmiri Shaivism, Jnaneshwar Maharaj approach does not accept that. If the Patanga wants to die in the fire, it is considering himself to be separate from the fire. The Shakti is never separate from the Shaktiman. The power is never separate from the power, the wielder of the power. Your mind cannot be separate from the self that you are. You cannot create and this is the mind and this is the self. You cannot do that. You cannot separate the gold and the ornament. I keep the ornament there and I keep the gold there. You cannot do that. Can you? This is the shift. So where does that come? That Patanga absolves himself in the fire. That comes in duality. Sharanagati, I am surrendering. But now you have to take that we are doing. The I thinking about I is also like that. I thinking about I is also is almost like that. But with having done that, mind does not finish. Then what finishes? Accepting that this body alone I am, this mind alone I am, this finishes. Then what happens? Then it is the general knowledge that everything I am, and this game of knower, known, knowing, which is my potentiality meaning mind, it is going on. Let it go on. Isn't it happening right now? Don't you know that every day waker, dreamer, sleeper, along with the waking world, dream world, sleep world, or absence of the two, they come and go every day? Are you complaining? No. You will become so acutely aware of that 24/7, 365 days a year. That will become and that is our natural state. Gone. Time goes very quickly. It's already 8:59. We had done only 10 OVs. In the same way, know that knowledge to be sattvic, which does not concern itself with the world of appearance. So, what is sattvic knowledge? I told you in the beginning only, when we chanted the verse. Sattvic knowledge is that which does not concern itself with anatma, as you said. Which does not concern itself with name and form, which does not concern itself with seeing, hearing, touching, feeling, tasting. It does not concern itself with ideas, imaginations, concepts. No. So what is sattvic knowledge then? Sattvic knowledge is that knowledge which concerns itself with the source. So it is thinking of the source, contemplating on the source, reflecting on the source, thinking about the source. Last 1.5 hours, what have we done? We have only thought of the source. We have used different examples, but everything is again and again coming back to the self. For 1.5 hours, you are in the sattvic mode. Almost there. Whether you know or you don't know, but you were there. Because that is your natural state, that is your truth. And if you are able to see that this triad is happening with every thought is a triad. Every thought that appears in our mind is a triad. It's coming and going. Who is? And if you understood that every triad is only is the expressionless expression of that infinite reality that the self is, then story over. But it has to be directly known. Right now it is, we are almost there. There's no doubt about it. If I say absorption, it's limited. It has to be absorption-less absorption, experience-less experience, consummation-less consummation. See? Because mind will continue. So just like in Amrit Anubhav it was told, the Shakti, how does Shakti express? Trigunatmika, Sattvic, Rajasic, Tamasic. So sometimes it manifests, sometimes it unmanifests. Again it manifests, again it unmanifests. What is that Shakti here? What is the Shakti is the potentiality of Lord Shiva. What is your Shakti? The mind. What is the nature of the mind? Manifestation, unmanifestation. Yes, you can see the manifestation as waking and dream, unmanifestation as sleep. But are you seeing manifestation of a thought and unmanifestation of a thought happening every moment? Are we able to see that? And not lose ourselves in that manifestation or unmanifestation and see, and it's a knowingless knowing that this manifestation and unmanifestation is my darling. So nothing to fight, nothing to desire, because it's me only, it's my potentiality only. This step is, it must happen by grace. It must happen. So how do you approach your mind? With compassion, with love, with understanding? Are you trying to educate it? Bhagavad Gita is educating it. Nowhere it has taken a position of killing the mind or hitting the mind, or sometimes that is also required. Sometimes it is also required. Early stages, when you are very, very body identified, it is required. When you are very, very tamasic, then it is required. But we don't need to do. If we are disciplined in ourselves, we are performing our duties, we are doing our karma with the goal to purify, we are contemplative, we are listening to satsangs, we are doing our japa, understand it will bring the right disposition about. Have faith. Have faith. It's only question of time. Which satsang will click it? Which night when you are going to sleep, suddenly you remember the opportunities before going to sleep and after waking up. When will that? It might be tonight because you have heard enough. It can happen any moment. We'll conclude here. What was this verse number? We didn't. I know.
535.
535. 535. So 536 will begin next week. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Hari Om.